Around 1 year ago, I was about 7 months pregnant, just a few months away from bringing my baby girl into this world. I was feeling huge. I was so tired, and honestly, I felt overwhelmed. And at one point, on a whim, I grabbed my camera and turned it on and sat down and rambled on about the things that I considered a must-have at that point in a pregnancy. Now, I'm not talking about $200 maternity jeans or stuff like that. I'm talking about the things that made those last few months bearable, that I honestly felt like I couldn't do without. Now, I came across that footage not too long ago, and I thought, you know, there's no better person to discuss must-haves in your third trimester than a pregnant woman in her third trimester. So, for the remainder of this video, I'm going to turn the time over to me 7 months pregnant. And since I need no further inductions, 1 year ago self, take it away. I wonder if I can do all my videos sitting down from now on. I know the lighting's really bad. I hope this isn't too annoying back here, but the air conditioning is blowing right on me, and it feels so good. So if you're about 7 months into your pregnancy, I know how you're feeling. You're probably thinking things like, oh, this is never gonna end. Could my tummy possibly get any bigger than what it already is? Is my double chin ever gonna go away? I get all of these thoughts, and don't worry, you're on the last lap of your pregnancy, and believe me, it's gonna go quicker than you think. At one moment, you're gonna think 3 months is a million miles away, but then before you know it, you're gonna think, oh my goodness, I've got so much to do before this baby comes. There are a few things that I recommend that you have that really can make this third trimester a lot more comfortable. So if this is interesting for you, be sure to keep watching this video. But first, my name is Diana. I'm a physician assistant specializing in women's health and gynecology. You're watching In the Pink, and if you're new here, In the Pink means in good health and spirit. So if you like being healthy and happy, click subscribe, because you're in the right place. So number one, a maternity belt. So back pain is so common during your pregnancy. The reason for that is hormones in your body make the ligaments in your pelvis and your low back loosen up, which is important so that when you go to deliver the baby, that loosening of the ligaments can allow the baby to more easily pass through the birth canal. Another reason that you might be having back pain is simply because of the change of your posture. You have to adjust for this extra weight that's right here in front. It causes you to have to lean back a little bit more, and especially at this point, you'll find that your hips feel a little bit more wide, and you even have to change the way that you walk a little bit. We call it the pregnancy waddle. But one thing that I found that really does help is a maternity belt. So here is mine. This is pretty basic. They get a lot more complicated depending on how much support that you need. So for me, I really only needed this when I exercise, and it's really simple. So I hope you can still see this. For me, I just wrap it around my tummy, and it helps to give me some extra support in here, and it helps to support my low back. And it offers me a lot more support when I'm working out, and it helps reduce pain as well when I'm exercising. But they have more complex belts available that wrap around your belly, that wrap around your groin area, and that even wrap up around your shoulders, depending on how much support that you need. So think about where you're hurting and where you feel like you need some extra support, and if you are having some pain, I highly recommend a maternity belt. Number two, comfy slip-on shoes. I don't think I could tie a pair of shoes even if I wanted to. Well, maybe I could, but I don't even want to. Being able to just have a pair of quick, comfortable, supportive shoes that you can slip on and off without having to bend over will make your life so much easier. I highly recommend that you find a pair that you think is going to be comfortable and invest in it. Next one, some type of belly butter or a belly lotion. Now, a lot of women go through a lot of lengths to try to prevent stretch marks. And even though I don't think you're gonna love hearing this, a lot of it has to do with your genetics. Some women's skin tends to form stretch marks a little bit more easily than others. If you're curious, ask your mom or any other family members if they've already had children, if they've had stretch marks. If they have, there's a pretty good chance that you will too. Another way that you can tell is if you already have stretch marks in other places. For example, if you have stretch marks in your breast or in your thighs. If you already have stretch marks there, there's probably a higher chance that you're gonna get stretch marks on your tummy. Don't be ashamed of them. They are your battle scars that helped you to bring this wonderful person into your life that you are gonna love and cherish forever. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. Wear them proudly and be grateful that you have them, because that means you get to have your wonderful baby. So on that note there are a few things that you can do to try to help prevent them. First off, be sure to drink a lot of extra water. Second of all, make sure that you are eating well and exercising throughout your pregnancy. If you're having excess weight gain beyond the normal 25 to 35 pounds that we expect to see during a pregnancy, that extra weight can increase your chances of having more stretch marks. And then the last thing is keeping your skin healthy. Now, take this with a grain of salt. There has been a few studies that have shown that creams that contain something called centella in it might help reduce your chances of getting stretch marks. Also, there's another ingredient called hyaluronic acid that might also help to reduce the chances of developing stretch marks. Will it hurt if you apply that to your belly? No. Could it help? Maybe. So that's up to you if you want to, but definitely I recommend that you keep your skin well hydrated, especially in this third trimester where your skin's gonna get really tight. If it's not, stretch marks aside, it does get itchy and uncomfortable. So any kind of belly butter I would recommend, or even just lotion. The next thing I recommend is something to help you with heartburn relief. Now, heartburn can be a problem for women all throughout the pregnancy, even your first trimester. But admittedly, in your third trimester, when your uterus is really not making a lot of room for your stomach, sometimes the stomach acids can kind of regurgitate or move back into your esophagus and can cause a lot of burning. Now, there's a few easy things that you can do to fix that. First of all, at night, if you struggle with heartburn, try to elevate your head. That can help prevent some of those stomach acids to get back into your esophagus. Also, try to keep a diary of things that tend to cause your heartburn to get worse. We call these triggers. So for a lot of people, triggers can be something like chocolate, spicy foods, whatever it is. Pay attention to what your triggers are and then try to avoid them. If none of that works, I recommend just some over-the-counter antacids like Tums that can really help take the edge off of your heartburn. You can also try something like famotidine or omeprazole. Those are both over the counter, but before you do that, I recommend that you talk with your own OB and make sure that they're okay with that. Next thing, pregnancy pillow. Now, I'm gonna try on this one lightly because not everybody loves a pregnancy pillow. But for somebody who needs a lot of support at night, there are a lot of great options for you. There are the C-shaped pregnancy pillows, so the U-shaped pregnancy pillows, and there's wedges. All of those I think are great if they can make you more comfortable. As your tummy gets bigger and you're laying down on your side, that can cause a lot of pressure and pain on your hips. So a lot of women like to use a pillow to put in between their knees. And these pregnancy pillows kind of allow you to easily do that. As for me, when I'm sleeping, I'm a little bit of a minimalist and I sleep really hot. So for me, I like as few things touching me as possible. So I do sleep with a pillow in between my knees, and then I have my pillow that I sleep with behind my head, and that's it. So a pregnancy pillow isn't perfect for everybody, but check one out if you're really having a hard time getting enough support around every place that you need it. The next thing that I recommend is getting yourself a pair of compression stockings. Compression stockings are a specially made pair of socks that are kind of like pantyhose. Here's mine, okay? They're kind of like pantyhose, but they offer a lot of compression, as the name states. And what that does is that helps to keep excess fluid from pooling in your legs, in your feet, ankles, and your calves. Now, this is very common during your last trimester of your pregnancy. It's especially worse if you're pregnant during the summertime, and it's not really a reason to be concerned about unless you have ankle swelling or leg swelling just in one leg. If that happens, then I recommend that you call your doctor right away. That could be a sign that you have a blood clot. But if it's in both legs, they're even, point them out to your doctor, but usually that's just related to the excess fluid that builds up during your pregnancy. So there's a few things that you can do to try to help with the swelling without the compression stockings. Number one, avoid standing for long periods of time. If you do, make sure you're walking around a lot. Also, if you're traveling, make sure that you don't sit for too long. So if you're driving in a car for a long time, make sure that every hour you get up and you walk around a little bit, get the blood moving. Number three, exercise. That can help to get the fluid moving back into your circulatory system, and it helps reduce the amount that pools inside your legs. But if you're doing all that and you're still struggling with ankle swelling, never fear, these things do wonders. They're not the sexiest things in the world, but you know what? At this point in our pregnancy, I don't think that's what we're worried about anyways. I'm not, at least. They have ankle compression stockings, they have stockings that go just below your knee, and then they have these thigh-high ones. My advice to you, even though they're not that stylish, go with the thigh-high ones because you want that compression to go all the way up to well above where the swelling is. So in the summertime, I know it feels a little bit hot to wear them, and like I said, they're not that cute, but they make a world of difference to help you with your ankle swelling. So if you don't have a pair, get one. Next, an exercise ball. Guys, these are really convenient to help you to still stay fit during your pregnancy. Eventually, we all have to modify what we're doing with exercise. Usually, I like to run. I ran up to about 32 weeks, and then it was starting to cause some discomfort, so then I've had to modify. And this is a great way to help you modify in a safe and healthy way. They're great because it improves your posture and your balance. It helps strengthen your leg muscles, your tummy muscles, and your core, all which are important to help you with laboring, delivery, and with your recovery. It also helps to prevent back injury and back pain during your third trimester, and it helps you to get back in shape after the baby is delivered. Next is a large water bottle. So it's recommended that you get at least 64 ounces of water a day, and that's especially important during your pregnancy. So if you don't mind taking multiple trips to the sink to get drinks of water, that is totally fine. But for me, sometimes I get busy and I tend to forget if the water isn't right in front of me. So I like to get larger water bottles, and then I just carry it around with me. And then my goal is just to make sure to finish my water bottle within a certain amount of time. So this right here is 40 ounces. And so I got to drink about 1.5 of these. I even try to drink 2 if I can throughout the day. So keeping a water bottle on hand makes it easy to get those 64 ounces of water each day. And it also helps you to be able to keep track of what you're drinking as well. Lastly, this is more something that you want to prepare for now for after the baby comes. After the baby comes, especially the first week or two, the last thing that you really want to worry about is dinner. And so I recommend that you build up a supply of freezer food that you can easily pull out, or whoever's going to be cooking your meals can easily pull out, throw in a crock pot, throw in the oven, or throw in the pressure cooker. So you can either do that by making double of your meals right now and eating one for dinner, and then packaging and putting the other one in the freezer for after the baby comes. Another option is, this is not my favorite option, but it's still available, just going into the freezer section of your grocery store and picking up freezer meals, lasagnas and stroganoffs and whatever you like, and throwing that in the freezer. Or a third option is one of those weekly meal in a boxes that come to your home. They're pre-cut, pre-measured, and you basically just throw it all together, and it makes up an easy meal with not a lot of preparation and not a lot of thinking beforehand. Those are really convenient as well. I've tried them. They're really healthy and they're really delicious, and if that's the route that you want to go, fine, but just make it easier on yourself for when the baby comes so that you can focus less on meal preparation and more on loving on that little baby of yours, because you're gonna love them. Oh, I almost forgot. Last one. Oh no, this is not the last one. Second to last one. Okay. Next, I recommend that you get panty liners. I hate to say this, but it's true. There's a lot that goes on with your tummy and with your body that you can't control at this point. And one of them is sometimes you end up coughing or sneezing, or the baby kicks at just the right time on your bladder when your bladder is full. And because of all of the pressure that's going on down there, you might notice a little bit of urinary leakage sometimes. I'm sorry, I wish it weren't true, but it is. Best thing to do is just be prepared. If you start to notice that increased pressure, buy some organic panty liners and just have them. It'll take a lot of stress off of if an accident happens. Speaking of that, I also recommend that you get one of these. If you don't know what this is, you're not alone, most people don't. This is called an incontinence pad. Now, no, this does not imply that you're going to be peeing your bed at night, but it's something that I recommend that all pregnant patients, especially as we get into the last month of pregnancy, should have. Now, hear me out. You just put them underneath you when you sleep. I like to put it in between my mattress protector. So you got your mattress protector, and then this incontinence pad, and then your sheet on top of that. And here is why. Not everybody's water breaks before they go into labor. But if it does, a lot of times it happens at night. If you don't have some kind of incontinence pad or something to protect your mattress, if your water does break in the middle of the night and you rush off to the hospital, you or your partner is going to have quite a mess to clean up when they get back. So this is a really great option to help keep the mess contained. So all you have to do is throw this into the washer, and then you don't have a big huge stain on your mattress because your water broke in bed. Secondly, even if your water doesn't break in bed at night before you go into labor, when you get back from the hospital, you're still gonna have a lot of heavy bleeding, and it's not uncommon to bleed through your pad because you don't want to be using tampons at this point, but it's really easy to bleed through your pad and then you wind up getting blood on your sheets or on your mattress. And so to have an extra layer of protection is super important. I highly, highly recommend it. So I'm going to put a link to a few of my favorite products that I mentioned above in the video description. Go check them out and see what you think. But as for now, thanks for watching this video. I hope that it was informative for you. If it was, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to hit subscribe for more videos just like this. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.